We'll finish up chapter 12 now by talking about dry spells and droughts. Places like here in Florida, where a Group C climate, which would be humid climate, but with mild winters, we have a very distinct season where we might see a dry spell. So we're going to talk about the difference between a dry spell and a drought. A drought would be a period of abnormally dry weather. So, and then a dry spell would be a normal seasonal dry period. So here in Florida, if I were to say this coming winter, we're going to have dry weather. Would we be talking dry spell or drought? Well, here in Florida, we always have dry weather in the winters, and so it's a normal seasonal dry period. So every winter, December, January, February, we go through a dry spell. But if it's drier than normal, then we would consider that as a drought. Now, how bad is a drought? Well, we have what's called the Palmer Drought Severity Index. What we do is we have a bunch of climatologists that go around and they take measurements of water content in soil, health of plants, and they just do a lot of looking at vegetation, exactly what was used to distinguish the Köppen system in the first place. They look at vegetation and soil, along with other meteorological measurements. And from that, they give a point system, and that point system will tell us how bad the drought is. If the points are somewhere between plus and minus 2, then you're in the normal range. As you get more and more negative, then your drought becomes more and more significant, more extreme. As your number gets more and more positive, then the amount of moisture you have also becomes more extreme. It's not uncommon to see regions up here, especially after a hurricane hits that area. So we would then take these measurements across the United States and plot them by region on a map so that we could get a good idea of where we might be seeing excessive precipitation and where we might be seeing droughts. So this is the map from August of 2001. This is the map as of when I made this video, where and I will show you where you can get to the data for today. Here in Florida, notice where we are. Generally white, tan, or somewhat brownish, which means we're somewhere between 0 and -3 for the most part here in Florida. Here in Volusia County, we'd be in that region here, which means we would be between -2 and -3. We're in a moderate drought as of the time of this video. Whereas there are lots of regions, especially here in the southeast, that are absolutely drowning in water. They have some of this really dark green that's +4 or above. Not surprising, since the last couple of weeks we've had some really major storm systems coming through this area. In fact, there's a storm system there as I share this video right here. Let me show you now where you can access this data yourself. The main place that I would have you as my students look for this is here on my Weather Tools page. This link is in Falcon Online, and after you're done with the class, before you're done with the class, you're welcome to bookmark it. Use this throughout the semester, absolutely fine. Satellite images, surface and upper air analyses, so on. Weather balloon soundings, top right, meteograms, models, hurricane information. It's an awesome page. Here's El Nino Southern Oscillation here in the center. And then right here, we have the Drought Severity Index, and you can see it here on the left. We also have air quality stuff here, but on the left, there's the Drought Severity Index. Now, if you just click on it, it'll open up the map, and you can see closer up what the current Drought Severity Index is. But there's also the CPC Drought Monitoring. Notice the website up here on top. That is where you would want to go in order to find out more about the current drought monitoring, the very first link right here, this is the chart we just saw. But they have other bits of information here. Severity index by percentile, by state, additional precipitation needed to bring the Palmer drought index back up to 0.5, along with a history of maps for the last, almost 20 years. For the last 20 years. So some cool information that you can pick up here for your use if you would like that.